Good morning, Bradley here. I just have a couple albums to show this morning. Probably a couple months ago, I said I would be showing some of my classical music records, and I realized I never did that. So today, I will be showing a couple classical music albums. Now this first one, I pre-ordered it, I don't know, a few months ago, and I knew it would not be available till April, so it arrived the other day. And both of these albums are on the Deutsche Grammophon label, the classical music label from Germany. So, the album that arrived on Friday is the newest album by Balmorhea. It's called The Wind. It's a nice cover and package. It's two vinyl albums in here. On the rear, it's got these song titles. Very cool. Now this would be, I suppose you could call it 21st century classical. It'd be more minimalist, and sounds gorgeous. Sounds beautiful. So anyhow, I will show you the inside. So it continues that minimalist theme. On the one gatefold side, it's got the credits and everything. And then on this side, it has a kind of like an old medieval map. It looks like it's either France or England. And it shows castles and moats and houses and rivers. So all this, I think, kind of plays into kind of what this album is about. And I have seen some reviews of this album, which I will not go into because I want to tell you what I got from this and not use other people's words, although they know a lot more of what's going on. So Balmorhea the two main guys are Rob Lowe and Michael A. Mueller. So they do the writing, arranging, performances, and all that. They do have some additional musicians on here. They have bass clarinet, they have a cello, some double bass, French horn, percussion, spoken word, which you might have caught that at the beginning of this song, possibly, done by Lily Coussard. She does that in French. Sounds beautiful. And a couple vocals, which I think are more or less background vocals. So, like I said, this would be whatever, neoclassical, minimalist. It's very beautiful. It's beautiful music. It's that kind of music that kind of transports you to a peaceful place. It really does. It kind of emotive work, I guess. It puts you in a mood. Like during the 80s and 90s, I was getting quite a few Windham Hill records off of that label, and I always enjoyed their music. You know, because it was beautiful, musicians were top-notch, and kind of like this album, it just transported you to a peaceful place. So I think Rob Lowe probably does most of the piano. Michael Mueller, he would do guitar, among other things, and both musicians. And some of the names of the songs, the spoken word is on the first song and also the last song. So some of the names of the songs, I'll just name a couple, it might give you an idea. La Vagabonde, Landlessness, The Myth, Evening, Now the first song on the album, the title is Day Dawns in Your Right Eye. And that has spoken word at the beginning. Now the last song, also spoken word in the beginning, is Night Falls in Your Left, which is very cool. So like I said, you can check on other reviews and you'll get a more in-depth explanation of what this album is about. It's you know, works on a concept, I'm sure. It sounds beautiful. Now, the only thing I don't like about this album, like I said, I've been listening. I listened several times on streaming before it came out. And then when I got it, I put it on and it sounded really good. But there was a few places that just sounded just a little funky, you know? So I was looking at the total length of the album. It's 46 minutes long. So I'm looking at these 2 vinyl records and I'm thinking, well, it was more than 46 minutes. Well, yeah, at 33 1/3 it was. But these are 45 RPM, which the only place on the whole package, it's got a really small print down on the bottom of the label. So if you happen to get this album, remember it's 45. I wish I would have put a big old sticker on it to get people's attention like me, because I don't pay attention. Anyhow, I finally figured out, yeah, it's 45 RPM. And that's another reason why it sounds really good. Good pressing. I don't know how heavy these albums are. Boy, they sure seem like they're heavier than 180. I don't know. Maybe Michael Mueller could let us know that. But excellent, excellent modern classical music. And Deutsche Grammophon, they're starting to branch out. You know, always before they would do all the masterpieces, the symphonies, and works by the master composers. They have a fantastic catalog, hundreds or thousands of albums. But they've started to branch in a little more into the modern classical movement, and I really like that. So this is an example of that, and I hope they continue. So this is Balmorhea, The Wind. Excellent album. Okay, now the next album, the second album, is also on Deutsche Grammophon. I got this a few months ago, just haven't gotten around to show it. It is Antonin Dvorak, Symphony number 9. And this is, which Symphony number 9 in English, it's called From the New World. And this is conducted by Raphael Kubelik, the Berlin Philharmonic. And this record was first released in 1973, and they are still pressing it. So, number one, that tells you it's a very popular album, and number two, because it's popular, it's probably good. And this is definitely a good classical music album. Great performance, everything. Kind of like the backstory on this, which Dvorak, I think he was Czech, lived from 1841 to 1904. So in the 1890s, he made a trip to the United States. Kind of fell in love with the culture. I think he was kind of like interested in the black music a little bit, and also Longfellow's poem Hiawatha kind of plays in this whole concept. So that's why it's called From the New World. It's got these influences from America. But this album, the reason I like it so much is it's got just the right proportion of soft passages with louder passages. Sometimes it gets, you know, classical. It gets a little frenetic sometimes, but this, in my point of view, does it perfectly. And after I was listening to this, and there's certain passages that sounded really familiar. It's like, boy, have I heard this before? And it's possible. With a lot of classical music, I mean, it's been used in everything, you know, movies, car commercials, cartoons even. So, it's possible I have heard it. But Dvorak, Symphony No. 9 on Deutsche Grammophon, Raphael Kubelik with Berlin Philharmonic. Excellent album. If you're just getting into jazz, or not jazz, classical, consider this album. It's very, I think it's very popular and it's very good. So that's it for my Deutsche Grammophon today. So hope everybody has a nice day today, and stay well. We'll see you next time.